Hello and welcome to Quartzlight, your car brochure channel. In today's episode we're going to be looking at the Mark I Ford Cortina for Ford Friday. Hello and welcome back, and if you're new to Quartzlight, we're a car brochure channel here on YouTube looking at car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s, and sometimes beyond that as well. So if you're interested in cars and car brochures, please consider subscribing. Anyway, back to today's episode. Yeah, it's Friday, so that means it's Ford Friday, where we look at a Ford every Friday. And yes, it's a turn of the Mark I Ford Cortina today. This is a very early UK brochure actually, November 1962, and at this time the Ford Cortina Mark I was actually known as the Ford Consul Cortina. So let's have a look at that now. Here it is, and it's actually in very good condition, this brochure, for 1962, and quite unusually for 62 or the 60s in general. It is actually a picture of an actual car. Very often they were actually just drawings, but here we do get pictures of the car. And like I say, very early on this, so it was known as the Consul Cortina until it had a facelift in 64, and then it was just known as the Ford Cortina. These were launched in September or late September, I think the 20th of September 62, something around there they were launched, so later on in September 62. So yes, a very early brochure, and at this time they only had one engine choice, a 1200cc engine. We'll look at that later on. 63 they came out with a 1500, but there was also two models as well, a deluxe version and a standard version. This would be the deluxe version with this chrome grille. I think the standard version just got a very simple body coloured grille at the front there, and interestingly the standard version and the deluxe version wasn't really a great deal of difference in price, so the standard version today would be classed as the rarer one. Let's just zoom in on this main image. And I do like the design of these 60s cars. I always include them in the channel. They are before my time, but I think I prefer 60s designs to 70s designs. I think they were a bit more classy, a bit more stylish. This particular one would have been, the chief designer at the time would have been Roy Brown Jr., who had a hand in the Edsel, which was a huge disaster, so I think he ended up working on this. But I think he made a nice job of it. I think it is a really nice looking, stylish, cheap family car. And the Mark I Ford Cortinas ran from 62 until 1966. Anyway, let's open the brochure up and we'll have a look inside, and we'll note that, like the majority of 60s brochures, it kind of like opens in sort of like a poster style fashion. So let's open that up now. So it opens up in this upward position, making a very long poster style, and then it actually opens out to make a full poster size. But we'll start at the top here, read some of this text, and then we'll move down and kind of like see my favourite feature of them rear lights. But let's start at the top here. So at the top it says the small car with a big difference, and some text there. We'll zoom in on that main front image first though. Like I said, this again looks like the deluxe version. I don't think I've actually seen a standard picture in here like they're all deluxe versions. You can see the badge at the front is actually saying Consul rather than Cortina at this early time. Like I said, a nice sort of design overall, and I like all the chrome. That is one thing about the 60s, I do like all the chrome on them. Let's have a look at some of the text. Okay, so it starts by saying the car that gives you small car savings but big car roominess, big car ruggedness, big car performance. New Consul Cortina from Ford. Enjoy the economy of 40 miles per gallon, yet the easy stride of big car power. Enjoy trouble-free parking, easy driving through traffic, yet the relaxed satisfaction of big car space. Enjoy low initial price, yet big durability and strength. there's a full promise of pleasure in the Cortina's sparkling style, composed so carefully of sleek line and balanced proportions. Right foot down and there's immediate power response. Press on and you'll soon be nudging 80. How so in a small car? Ruthlessly good design has carved away surplus weight, making the Consul Cortina the toughest, lightest car of its size in the world. Less bulk for the engine to handle, more economy and power for you to enjoy. It's the great new European car. And then the lower half of this page, small car costs, big car benefits. So Cortina badge on the boot there and the little deluxe emblem there as well. And like I say, there weren't much difference in price between the standard and deluxe. I don't really see the point of the standard model, and I think most buyers looked at it that way and bought the deluxe. Like I say, standard version, pretty rare car tonight. Love the big chrome bumper and the overriders, but my favourite part are these rear lights. They're very stylish and these little bit of a sort of fin at the back there. Looks very, very nice. And then when we open it to its full size, you can really see how big this brochure is. Huge picture of this side view of this Consul Cortina at the top. These very unusual wheel trims, white wall tyres on there as well. It's not actually the best picture, to be honest with you, to say it's a big picture, but it is pretty huge. At the bottom it says, it's talking about you can get a deluxe or a standard 2 or 4 doors. Obviously this is a 2-door here and we're looking at the 4-door down here. I think we'll zoom in on some of these smaller images and then we'll look at some of the text. It gives us a bit of a look at the interior. There's sort of like a padded dash, which is quite nice, and this strip speedo, and of course column change, as I would just take it out of focus. There we go, back in focus again, and this quite unusual looking steering wheel. And column shift on these actually means that the front seat is a bench seat rather than 2 separate seats. This is a better image though, and you notice this has got the 2 separate seats, so you've got this floor mounted change with this huge gear lever. But overall, not a bad looking car, not a bad looking interior. I don't know if you can make it out, but these are kind of like a dual colour seats, so this will be like the deluxe trim, and I'm presuming that this one with just the plain black is probably more likely just to be the standard trim. And then we got another nice little image just demonstrating the 4-door version. And at the bottom, for I'm not really sure what reason it is, but a very nice sort of 60s holiday scene. And then this rather lovely little image of the boot area. Particularly like actually how the boot, if I just move it up a little bit, how the boot curves. Nice little styling cues. Not a bad sized boot area, but again, another image of them. Rather lovely lights. Those rather lovely lights with the chrome treatment around the edge. Looks really good. So it starts by saying, eye catcher from Ford, the small car with a big difference, the new Consul Cortina. This is the first car in the world to have small car price and economy coupled with big car speed and space. This is a formula for Ford's new European car, potential star of the 60s. If you're cramped in small cars, then here's your chance to slip into something comfortable. The Cortina is built in 2 or 4-door trim or 4-door form with standard and deluxe versions of both. A sporty floor shift is standard for the 4-speed all synchromesh gearbox, but a column shift is fitted when a bench front seat is specified. For the first time in its class of car, 4 or 5 passengers get true stretching space, and 20 cubic feet of boot space is available for their luggage. Enormous glass area with wind down door windows, thin pillars and draft defying front quarter lights, and opening rear quarter lights on the 2-door car contribute towards your riding pleasure. A striking and simple fascia presents the instruments right before the driver's eyes. For safety, the fascia cowl is padded, and for convenience there's a lidded glove box and central ashtray. Trim is in vinyl two-tone on the deluxe car. For body colours, you choose from 5 single tone schemes on the standard car and from 9 single tones and 6 dual tone colour schemes on the deluxe. The Consul Cortina packs within its handsome big car shape a tantalising specification, and it's yours at a price you can afford. Bonus features are Ford unique engineering experience, twice a year servicing, and the support of the famous worldwide Ford dealer network. Your nearest Ford dealer will be delighted to arrange a test drive for you, entirely without obligation. He'll prove to you fact by fact, figure by figure, and that this is indeed the small car with a big difference. And then finally, when we fold all the little brochure back up again, on the back page we get the specifications. So let's have a look at that now. So the engine, and yeah, we just get one engine choice on these very early ones. It's a 4-cylinder, and the size of the engine is 1198cc. So strange that it keeps going on about like high cruising speeds, and you've only got this 1198cc. But yeah, later on we do get a larger 1500. It goes on to tell us about lubrication, the ignition, it's a 12-volt system, the fuel system, the cooling system, and the transmission. So it's a 4-speed gearbox with synchromesh on all forward gears, remote central floor gear change optional, steering column gear change on deluxe models when bench seat is fitted. So actually that one, what we pointed out with the black bench seat, it must have been a deluxe version because it's telling us we can only get that column change on the deluxe version. So I think all the images are of the deluxe. A little bit of information on the body there. Not going to read it all out, but of course you can pause the screen if you do want to read anything in any great detail. Rear axle, front suspension, rear suspension and brakes, drums all round, steering, wheels and tyres, electrical system, instruments, instrument cluster located directly in front of the driver, incorporating speedometer, odometer, fuel gauge, main beam, ignition warning, and indicator warning lights. A little bit of information about the controls and general equipment. So dual windscreen wipers, 2 seal beam headlights, twin combined flasher and side lighter, lamps, etc, etc. And then it also gives us the information what we get extra for the deluxe model. So bright metal exterior and interior ornamentation, deluxe badge on the lower back panel, passenger sun visor, high tone PVC rubber coloured floor coverings, 2 ashtrays in rear compartments, opening rear quarter windows, 2-tone trim schemes in luster PVC, door operated courtesy light, temperature warning lights and oil pressure warning light, aluminium scuff plates and a padded fascia cowl. They've also got some options here as well. So factory fitted options at extra cost. Standard model, you can order a heater and demister with a 2-speed fan. On the deluxe models you can add on the heater and demister with a 2-speed fan as well. We can also get white sidewall tyres, which we saw, bench front seat with column gear change and 2-tone paint. And then right at the bottom there's a little Ford badge, a product of the Ford Motor Company, Dagenham, Essex, and I think we've got a little bit of a date stamp. It starts by saying printed in England by Foch and Cross Limited, London, and the reference number and the date 1162. So So the Mark 1 Cortina, the Consul Cortina on these very early ones. Do you remember these cars? Did you ever own one? Please jot that in the comments if you did. I particularly like the styling of these actually. A nice looking car, but like I say, a bit before my time, so most of them were gone when I started buying cars. But thank you so much for watching Quarterlight today. Many more episodes to come. Tomorrow is the Saturday episode where we should see a special edition, so look out to see what special edition we'll have featured. But do like and subscribe if you've not done already, and we'll see you very soon. So take care and goodbye.